Hi, this is Louis Paul's The Colors of Prog. This is season 5, episode 9. We're just running along on here. So today I'm covering what I think are a couple of albums that a lot of people don't know about. And one of them is a collection here, anthology, volumes 1 to 3, called Cover to Cover, credited to Morse, Portnoy, and George. Um, that would be Neal Morse, Mike Portnoy, and they've been known for their love of popular rock music separately and together. Um, they've also appeared in Beatles and Who tribute bands, aside to their own prog-related activities. Randy George joined the Neal Morse band as a formidable bass player, and so the trio of Morse, Portnoy, and George, they've been recording these cover albums, cover music, cover songs. The first one appeared in 2006, the second in 2012, and the third in 2020. Uh, and the same time they released the third one in 2020, they remastered the first two cover albums and released all three in a three disc box set as cover to cover anthology. So what are we talking about here? So we have 30 songs spread out here. And it's like an amazing jukebox of great tunes. I mean, if you grew up in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, this is like, wow. If you were in your favorite bar or restaurant, wherever there was a jukebox playing, do you remember those diners that you would put in a nickel, then a quarter, then 50 cents? Or a jukebox, a real jukebox in a bar where you put in some change before it became singles and then $5 bills. And like a great jukebox had great music. And sometimes it was actual 45s before it became digital. And this is before things changed. And the bartender would say, I got my iPod set up to the system here. It's all emo music or punk or um, occasionally somebody has good taste, but back in the days, jukeboxes were really cool and that they were the thing. So anyway, this is like an amazing jukebox of great tunes. Disc one begins with the U2 song, Where the Streets Have No Name. Segues into Joe Jackson. Yes, remember Joe Jackson? I'm the Man. And it jumps into George Harrison's What Is Life. Cream's Badge, which is actually a Harrison song. And then there's a lot of deep cuts, the album deep cuts here. We got like Badfinger, Day After Day, um, The Monkees, Pleasant Valley Sunday, Moody Blues, Tuesday Afternoon, Chicago, Feeling Stronger Every Day. I mean, how often do you hear a Chicago cover by a bunch of guys associated with prog music? And even Bowie's Rock and Roll Suicide. It showcases an amazing chameleon-like adeptness to not only mimic but seemingly become the band they are covering. It's a sweet listen. And also you get to hear Portnoy sing a little bit. And, under Neal Morse's tutelage, I mean, he's getting good at it. And Randy had some vocal moments, and these guys just knocked it out of the park. So this too, originally released in 2012, bangs out with Elvis Costello's What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding, which is an early Elvis Costello hit. And it's got the propulsiveness and it's got the energy that Elvis had in that early song. Um, there's a nice revisit to Boz Scaggs' Lido Shuffle, which was a hit for Boz, but I bet you haven't heard that in a while, unless you're listening to something like Sirius's Deep Tracks, you know. Um, the Police, Joe Cocker, and others are covered, but there are standouts. Come Sail Away by Styx. Tull's Teacher, that's a deep cut. And a trio of Neil Young's songs as a sort of medley. Southern Man, Needle and Damage Done, and Cinnamon Girl. And Neal Morse is such a good singer. He's really good as a mimic. You got to remember, as mentioned in the earlier show, that Neil played the bar circuit, and he played the bar circuit in Europe, in Germany, I believe, and he was playing cover songs for a living, trying to survive. He would play songs, he learned like an amazing amount of material, and these are songs he likes. And if you've seen um, smaller venue Neal Morse band shows, sometimes they'll break out a cover, and it's quite nice. I mean, he's done with Nick DiVirgilio and Ross Jennings this other project they have where, and these are original songs, but they're sort of like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I mean, crazy. Disc three, my favorite of the anthology collection, opens with a Yes deep cut. No opportunity necessary, no experience needed. It's a really great version. It jumps into Tull's Hymn 43, Bowie's Life on Mars, Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street. Everybody remembers that one. And then there's just more and more great songs. This is no bar band tribute album, but an excellently played, well mixed studio recreation from a bunch of neo prog legends playing music they love. Now, I also wanted to mention that in so prior to this, Mike Portnoy, Paul Gilbert from Mr. Big, Billy Sheehan, and Gary Sharon from Extreme and Van Halen played a gig in B.B. King's Blues Club in New York City, May 31st, 2006. Now, Mike Portnoy released this on his website. I believe they're out of print now. It's called Amazing Journey. Oh, I can't say it. One Night in New York City. Oh, it's right behind me. And they go through Who classics, 2 discs of almost 30 songs. I mean, and they're really good. They're infectious. They have a great energy. And if you like The Who, you might want to check this out. It's really good. Now, similarly, um, Portnoy, Paul Gilbert, Neal Morse, and Kasim Sultan from Utopia on bass and vocals, they played B.B. King's same place, February 2011, a couple of years later. And they played, pardon me, as a Beatles tribute band. So they did Beatles and Beatles solo material. They played about 40 songs, more or less, and it's pretty damn good. Um, they called themselves Yellow Matter Custard, from the Beatles song, and I Am the Walrus, right? And it's pretty amazing. This is also released on Mike Portnoy's website. Sounds fantastic. Someone alerted me to that there's video. I'm not sure of the quality on YouTube from the show. I had heard that Mike had sold out of these, but I don't know if he's going to repress any. So, I mean, talk about the covers albums. Talk about Yellow Manor Custard. Talk about Amazing Journey, which is Portnoy and these other guys. And, basically we have a bunch of progressive rock musicians playing popular music, playing the music they love, playing music that inspired them, probably playing music they want to hear and they love to play. And that's a cool thing. Bands doing cover songs. That's how some bands started. The Rolling Stones started doing blues music from blues musicians. The Beatles started doing popular music from other artists, until they learned how to write their own songs. These guys wrote their own songs, but they also like to give it back. And, I love this song. I think that's probably what was going on. I love this song. Let's record this song. Okay, let's do this thing. Morse, Portnoy, George, and do this. And they did it over a number of years. And the most recent one was only a couple of years ago. And Morse and Portnoy and company, they did this Beatles thing as Yellow Matter Custard, and Portnoy and company, Billy Sheehan and others, they did Amazing Journey as a Who cover band or tribute show. And so it's just a lot of fun. And if you could find these things, Discogs, eBay maybe, but you could try Mike Portnoy's website. Just Google it. I forgot offhand what it was. And he might have repressed some of these. So anyway, that's a show for today. Fun music. Keep rocking.